Hello everyone, Ryax here. As a gacha game enthusiast, I saw that Tower of Fantasy had been getting a lot of hype recently, and I myself was incredibly hyped for this game, so I've been playing it since launch, and since this is about day 3 of the game being out, I wanted to share my thoughts, opinions, just how I feel about the game in its current state, and also to kind of go over some little things here and there for some people who may not understand how all the systems work, even though this is the only the third day. So there's a couple things that I've been explaining as I'm streaming to my friends or other viewers, so I'm going to cover that in this video just to try to help anybody out who may have questions regarding those specific features or how the game works, just so that way we're all caught up as the game goes through its specific days throughout the week. So let's jump right into the explanations of how this game works from the ground up. So one of the first things I want to go over with this game is that at its core, it is a gacha game, as you can clearly see right here. Bam, gacha game. You can see you can get waifus, husbandos, and all that jazz. But there's a little bit more complexity to this game, as it is also like marketed as an MMO game. And what you need to realize is that while it is an MMO game, at its core, gacha, money, pulls. You can be free to play. I'm mostly free to play. I've only spent about $6 on this game, but it's mostly free to play. I'm not spending any money on doing any of the pulls in this game because I feel like I can get everything I need to for free. No concerns here. But let's jump into how some of the base things work. So at its core, all your characters are going to turn into essentially these weapons. As you pull the game's gacha system, you'll be getting weapons, not really characters, and you'll be using those weapons throughout combat. And the good thing about it, and what they might not explain to you so well, is that every weapon has specific stats. You can see here, my dual pistols have attack, HP, and crit. The scythe has attack, resistance, HP, and the staff that I have for healing has attack, resistance, and HP. These stats actually all combine together and get put on your character's base stats. So when you're playing the game, you do want to make sure you're leveling up all your weapons as you go, so that way you get the accumulated stats and they all get transferred onto your character. They don't really do a good job explaining how that works. I myself didn't quite catch on right away, and then as I started upgrading all my weapons, I realized that, oh, hey, it's actually doing this. That's cool. So as a heads up, that's how this works in the game. The other thing that you want to keep an eye out for is that there's 3 different types of weapons. You have your DPS weapons, as you can see by this little like up arrow symbol right here. You have your healer weapons, which you can obviously see as a little plus symbol right there. And then you have your tanking weapons. In this game, since it is an MMO at its like base, gacha and then MMO, it has 3 classes. You can be a tank, DPS, and a healer, and you can have weapons that go around that. Now, personally, I'm going for DPS, so for me, I want to get this match resonance up here, which they also don't do a really good job explaining. But if you see here, if you match your weapon resonances properly, you'll actually get a boost to your stats. Now, you can be a balanced team where you have one of each type of weapons. You have a tank, a DPS, and a healing weapon, and these give you stats based on that. You can have 2 tank weapons, 2 DPS weapons, and 2 healer weapons. Now, ideally, what you would want to do is you would want to make sure that you have 2 of one type. You could do the balanced route, but for the most part, having the 2 of one type really helps you with just your overall effectiveness with that specific type of weapon. Like you see here, I have 2 DPS weapons and a healer weapon, so that way I can keep myself alive while also dishing out a lot of damage. Now, what you need to be aware of, specifically, when it comes to balancing out your team, is that there's 2 things to look at. You'll see here on my scythe weapon that I have shatter and charge. Now, a lot of people are really confused about this. This does, if you hit the question mark here right above abilities, this does kind of explain how it works here. Now, if you're anything like me, I tried to read this, and that's effort. So I'm going to give you the TLDR. When an enemy has a shield, like when there's a white bar underneath their health, shatter will be the best way for you to knock out their shield, so that way you can start doing direct damage to their HP. You still can hurt them directly, except that when they have the shield, they take reduced HP damage, so you want to shatter the shield as quick as possible. Weapons with shatter, like the scythe, will work through that shield at a very, very quick rate. You'll see here that my pistols only have 6 shatter, therefore they will not be doing a lot of damage to the shields. Now, on the other hand, you'll see that my dual pistols here have a lot of charge. Now, charge builds up your weapon discharge abilities. Specifically, there's a little icon around your weapons in the bottom right corner of your screen that will actually build up the more you attack an enemy or are attacked yourself. And weapons with low charge, like the scythe, do not actually build that up quickly, while weapons like the dual pistols or even my heal staff will actually build that up very quickly, which allows you to keep swapping in and out of them to keep using their discharge abilities, which is essentially like the skills for free. And you always want to be maximizing that during fights to put out better damage, or in the healer's case, to put out more healing so that way you don't die as much. Another thing they don't really tell you too much about is, while you do have your weapons here on the surface, once you hit a certain level, you actually start unlocking matrices. I believe this is at level 20. But at level 20, you start being able to put on these additional things. They're kind of like artifacts. If you've played Genshin or other games, it's kind of like gear for your weapons, essentially. And as you can see here, they each have their own individual stats. This one right here gives me HP and crit. This one right here gives me attack and HP. And this one here also gives me attack and HP. And you can see that they're attached to my scythe right now. So you'll also see they have a 3-piece set bonus. So most of these will have a set bonus. You'll see even this green one right here that I don't have active has a set bonus. And you'll have ones of emotion, of mind, of belief, and of memory. And you'll be able to level them up to give you more and more stats. And the big thing that you need to pay attention to that I didn't kind of get off the top part is, one, they do have a set bonus, and the set bonus is actually pretty good for just starting off right now. You'll see here I have the set bonus for the flame weapons on my flame weapon. And then if we go to my dual pistols, I actually have the set bonus for volt weapons because it is a volt weapon, and I've leveled these up as well. I haven't leveled them to max because right now it's a little costly and we don't have a lot of resources this early in the game. And then you'll see here, I don't really have anything on my healer yet, as I need to acquire more matrices. And they don't really give you too much of a way to acquire these, but once you hit a certain level, you'll actually unlock this up here, which is going to be your little dual blade symbol up here. So if you click that dual blade symbol, it'll actually tell you everything you can do weekly. It'll give you a list of things you can do to earn points that max out your weekly activity bar. The recommended right here will be where you see like your dailies, the Mia's Kitchen for your food, the sign bonus, the ruins, and the world exploration. The ruins are things scattered around the map that they will continuously have you doing. World exploration is obviously world exploration. And then right here in the select option, you'll see that there's a stamina bar up here. So these are your stamina required activities. Interstellar exploration, I believe, unlocks at level 20 or 21. These are stargates that you can go into to get experience and stuff for your weapons. You'll have dimensional trials right here. And then this is the big one right here, joint operations. These joint operations is where you're going to get your matrix chips for your weapons. And once you get to a higher level, which is, I believe, around 25, 26, you'll be able to start getting this gear as well. But for right now, we're focusing on the matrix chips. So by doing these challenges, each time you go in, so whenever you go into these, there will be 3 boxes, which is why this event costs 90 stamina to do. But you can go in here and only open up 1 or 2 if you want to. But each box costs 30 vitality to open. Whenever you go into the challenge, it will confirm with you if you want to spend 30 vitality to open up the chest. You can go in and just fight along with your friends if you'd like to and not get anything if you don't have enough stamina. If for any reason you do have more stamina and you want to get some more, you can always buy a vitality solution. I don't recommend it personally because you want to save your in-game currency for maybe like the red nucleus wishes or the gold nucleus wishes. Just don't spend your dark your dark currency here without really making sure that you know what to do with it. But that's where you're going to get your matrices. And right here, there's some challenges for some daily stuff that you can do, like the training or this Bygone Phantasm opens up on day 3. I think once you're about level 27 or so, this will open up for you as well. So before we get into the stuff with that whole Bygone Phantasm and all that stuff that you can do there, let me go over one last thing that they don't really remind you of too much. It is part of the story, but after that point, they don't really remind you too much of it, and that's going to be your suppressor right here. So the deal with your suppressor, as you'll start on the Omnium level, and it goes up every time that you reach a certain level and you get some of these Omnium crystals, which you can get from various things, ruin, story rewards, exploration, a bunch of stuff you can get, so that way you can level up your suppressor. Leveling up this suppressor gives you amazing base stat increases. You'll see the first level, which is what you get after you complete the story at level 12. You'll actually get some HP and some resistance, and then it progressively gives you more and more until you hit 1.5. Then you get a matrix piece as well as some additional stats. Then you get to unlock the 2.1, which gives you the option to have even more stats until finally, again, you're back at the matrix again. Now, this is the most you'll be able to get on the end of day... This is the most you were able to get on the end of day 2. I haven't really started progressing through day 3 just yet. And then now in day 3, you'll start gaining access to here at level 26. And then this one's locked behind your character power. And then it just goes from that point on as you go up. But they don't go into too much detail about this, so don't forget to check in with your suppressor level every single time you level up a couple of times with your character, and you find a couple of these Omnium crystals, just to make sure you're boosting your character stats and your survivability, so don't forget about that. Now, I was saying how, you know, there's some stuff with the Bygone Phantasm, again, on how it takes so long to open up, or you're not quite there yet for their levels, or stuff like that. This game, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Personally, for me, I like it because it means I can move at a steady pace with everyone else without feeling rushed. But currently, in the game, there is timed content all around. There are timed chests in exploration that you can't open up for so many hours or days. There's limits to the level you can be, as I'll show you right here on my character. The highest level I can actually go to right now is 27. And that's for today. The next day after today, day 4, you'll be able to go to 30. And they're limiting the content that you can enjoy every day. Day 1 was 18, day 2 was 24, day 3 today is 27, and day 4 tomorrow will be 30, and so on and so forth. I found a picture on Twitter from someone who released a possibility of the level gating, which I will put in the description below if you'd like to take a look at it to see if maybe you want to put off on this game until the leveling comes out fully, so you can just like enjoy it all at once without having to wait or anything. Now, on the opposite side of that, and I do need to enforce this, on the opposite side of that, you need to be aware that there are actually things you will be missing out on by not simply joining the game right now and playing right now. So as you can see right here, there's going to be pre-registration rewards, and while it says pre-registration rewards, it doesn't actually mean that. What it essentially means is that if you just registered the game, as in you just like make an account with the game, log into the game now, within a certain amount of time of the launch, you will actually get 10 free gold nucleuses and 500 dark crystals, as well as a bunch of other rare items and such. Now, the gold nucleuses that you're getting, you can spend here on the wishes, summon banner, however you say it in gacha terms, wherever you happen to be playing gacha games. This is where you're going to get your characters, your fancy weapons and such like that. I'm going to make a separate video going over how this works. So if you want to know how this works, please follow along with the channel. I'm going to be making a follow-up because the summoning system in this game is a bit different than other games. It's actually much more generous feeling. But again, that's all luck. As you know, these gacha games, they're all luck. But I will go over explaining this. The TLDR for it right now is that if you manage to get your very first 30 pulls are guaranteed to get you a SSR character, and then at 80 there's another one. So that's all you need to know right now. I'll go over it more in detail later. But since we're going to be getting them for free by just making it a character, please make sure you do that. The second one is these in-game rewards right here. So for the next about, who knows, like 20 to like 20 days to like 4 or 5 weeks away, there's going to be consistent events is what they're saying, but I feel more like it's going to just be you log in, do some stuff, and then you get rewarded for it. But as you can see here, tons of pulls. You got your gold nucleuses. You'll eventually get an SSR weapon box of your choice, which is going to be really, really good. The SSR weapon box of your choice, which I will show you right here, is part of this newcomer event. And if you actually do all these newcomer stuff right here, which is just doing a bunch of stuff that you do wandering the world, doing this and that, eventually you'll get enough points to get to 700, and then you get this SSR box, no expiration date, and you'll be able to choose your SSR that you want. Now you can choose up to any of them in this selection right here, which is pretty good. I would hold off on this until you have at least 2 to 3 SSRs, just so that way you don't choose something in the box and then get a duplicate of it immediately doing like another pull in the special orders. So hold off on this and just enjoy the game for right now, get some characters, then worry about this. But these are some little things that they don't really show you when you first launch into the game. So if you'd like to give it a try now, it is free. You can make an account, come play, run around the game, enjoy it for now. If you're upset about the time gating, I would still jump in and at least make a character and get these free rewards, and then like play the bare minimum every day just to get the rewards, is my opinion on this game. Is the time gating good? Not really. It's an MMO. For them to be time gating us at this point, I feel like all they're doing is just kind of delaying to make sure that there's enough content for us to enjoy, which isn't that bad, but it's still annoying. But yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, please let me know down in the comment section if you have any more questions about any of the base mechanics in the game. I'm doing a lot of research on this game daily because I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's a gacha game, you know, it's silly fun, waifu time, husbando time, you know, good times. The co-op features in this game, amazing. Compared to other games, you know, like Genshin, which isn't a bad game, but compared to Genshin, where you can't really do much in co-op with your friends, being able to do like a world boss with everyone in the channel around you just all fighting this world boss is amazing. And it's an experience that you can't really have in most gacha games like this. So it's just a nice touch, you know, MMO into your gacha game. Not bad, not good, but not bad either. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much if you've made it to the end. I really appreciate you giving me some time of your day. If you want to stay tuned for me going over other features about this game, please subscribe. Let me know down in the comment section what you want me to cover in the future. I'm consistently going to be working on this game going forward through its launch period. My next video, I'm going to try to cover the summon system in this game, because I feel like people need to be informed where their money's going to go if you wish to spend money on this game. So, as always, thank you so much for stopping by. Catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.